Hello everybody, my name's Lauren. Today is Tuesday the 24th of March and I'm here with Dr. Claire Jones, an experienced GP in the Worcester area, talking about the latest information around coronavirus. So the first question really is around the government's announcement last night around social distancing and it being much stricter. Why is this and will it work?
Oh, Lauren, thank you for asking us. So much has changed since last week. We're now being asked to only leave the house for essential journeys, for going to essential work, and just to get essential provisions, and exercising on one occasion for an hour in the day, and not socialising, not meeting with our friends, and any contact we do have must be 2 meters apart. It's such a big change and such restrictive measures. These have not been taken lightly by Public Health England, and it's thought that this will greatly reduce the peak in incidence in coronavirus to allow the NHS to cope. So the NHS is really worried they'll have a big peak of cases all requiring ITU at the same time and just not being able to cope. And we've seen these happen in other countries. And the social distancing is so important to allow the NHS to cope and the virus not spread too quickly. So it's really important for all of us to be engaged in that, not just the old people who are socially isolating and staying at home, or patients with specific risk factors. Patients with asthma, for instance, have been instructed to socially isolate as well, but very big restrictive measures that is affecting us all.
Will it work if we all apply to these rules?
Well, apparently it will work, and before vaccinations and antibiotics, that's how public health in the medieval days coped with infections. And we know that isolating actually does work. And although it's very restrictive and greatly changes our lives for all of us, it will work. It will reduce cases. It will help the NHS to cope in these unprecedented times, and that will lead to lives saved.
Now, we've heard a lot about this illness affecting older people or people with underlying health conditions. Should young people also be paying attention to this virus?
Well, the risk for serious complications and for death goes up with age, in line with age, but young people, because the coronavirus is so widespread already, and because the incidence is expected to go up greatly, even though risk for young people is very low, it still does exist. So there is still personal risk. That's increased if you have some risk factors, and you'll know if that's the case because likely to be offered a flu jab, for example, type 1 diabetics or asthmatics in your university population. But young people are still at risk. But of course, it's the elderly and patients with diseases and illnesses, particularly respiratory illnesses or on immunosuppressants, who are very markedly increased risk of complications. So there we're most worried about them.
So people may have lots of underlying health conditions or another health concern, but they might be frightened to go see a doctor at the moment, but to not overwhelm the NHS or their local GP. What should they do?
Well, at the moment, we're putting all other illnesses on hold for 6 months for coronavirus, but clearly that can't possibly work because, we had illnesses before a month ago and those illnesses still exist now. So all other illnesses are not on hold for coronavirus, and your GP will be very happy to speak to you about any other health matters besides coronavirus, any other illnesses you have, any other concerns you have, any other symptoms you have, but the consultation will be different. It's likely that you will speak to a receptionist first, which you may not have done in the past, and it's very likely that you will be triaged by phone. We're trying to reduce footfall in the practice, and most consultations will happen over the phone. So this morning I've had many consultations with patients. Fortunately, most of them not COVID-19 related, and have been able to sort them out really quickly and satisfactorily over the phone. We're also now doing video consultations. Nearly all the GPs are doing video consultations, so you can even see your GP while you're having that consultation. So there's no need for you to come to the surgery, but there's no need for you to worry that your illness has to be on hold for 6 months while all other attention goes to COVID. Your GP will be happy to talk to you if you have any other health matters. We are under pressure at the moment. We have we have 12 doctors in the practice. 4 of them are at home self-isolating. So there are pressures in the practice with workforce, but still you have access to medical care. If you are ill with coronavirus symptoms, then 111 is the best port of call through their website.
Could you tell us a bit more about the response locally? Are we prepared?
Well, each day we're getting changing and updating and getting more prepared. The hospitals are emptying beds of patients who don't need to be in hospital and not admitting other patients to their beds. Outpatients are being cancelled and emptied apart from anything urgent and cancer related. And general practices are doing the same. We're stopping doing unnecessary or non-urgent blood tests. All of these are on hold, and any routine reviews are being postponed. So we're all making sure that we've got capacity and availability for coronavirus patients, because we're expecting the incidence to shoot up.
And finally, it might just be worthwhile reminding us what we can all be doing during this time.
Well, I think we need to listen to what the government advice is. So it's wash our hands regularly and for 20 seconds, observe the social distancing strictly, and just to remind ourselves that we're not at war. We feel like we're at war, but this is short-term measures, and the stricter we are, the sooner we'll come out the other end and life will go back to normal. So I think if you want this all over to be quickly, to be as quick as we can, we need to just be as strict as we can now, and then we can come out the other end and get life back to normal, back to studying, back on our holidays again. Thank you.